this Plant 3D overview webinar. I'm working here in Plant 3D 2021, which has recently been released. So this will just give you an idea of the features and functions available in the AutoCAD Plant 3D application. So AutoCAD Plant 3D is built upon the basic AutoCAD application. So if you have some familiarity with AutoCAD, you'll already be familiar with the interface and some of the functions available within Plant 3D. So if you have AutoCAD, you have Plant 3D. So if you subscribe to AutoCAD today, you will get access to these included tool sets. I think Autodesk are slightly underselling these applications by calling them tool sets. They're all fairly comprehensive applications in their own right. So AutoCAD Architecture, AutoCAD Electrical, AutoCAD Map 3D, AutoCAD Mechanical, AutoCAD MEP, Plant 3D, which is what we're going to be going through today, and AutoCAD Raster Design, and then we have the mobile and web apps as well. So next here we have what are the drawing types that Plant 3D will allow you to create, and what functions are, which of these drawing types are kind of streamlined within the Plant 3D environment. So in Plant 3D we have access to creating intelligent P&IDs, piping and instrumentation diagrams for process design. So if you're working in a process department and you're working on P&IDs, we'll go through this drawing type shortly here in a moment. We also have 3D models, so the 3D models for piping runs. We have equipment models. We have a lot of presets. We have a lot of assets that are included in the Plant 3D, which we can place into these 3D models as well. We have isometrics for pipe fabrication, and we have orthographic drawings, which are your plan elevation, end views, and section views. So in the P&ID environment, we have symbology based on these standards. So when you install Plant 3D by default, you get symbology catalogs that are based on these available standards: the Japanese Industrial Standard, the International ISA Standard, the PIP, ISO, and DIN, which is the Dutch standard for piping design. So next here I'm just going to show off the interface for AutoCAD Plant 3D, and I'll open the application to show this off. So over here on the left we have the project manager. So before I start here, you'll be already familiar with the AutoCAD application. It looks similar to AutoCAD. Across the top you have your ribbon, which are various drawing tools. Over here on the right I have anchored the tool palettes, which allows us to place components which have been predefined in various catalogs within the Plant 3D application. And over here on the left side we have the project manager. The project manager allows you to manage your drawings, P&IDs, Plant 3D drawings, which are your 3D models, your piping specs. So we can go in here and we can edit these pipe default setups, and if I open one of these, you'll just, I won't be modifying one of these here today, but basically you have various different presets for different pipe thicknesses and pipe sizes, and which types of valves and elbows and T-pieces, etc. are available for those pipe types. So that's the overall interface. Essentially it's fairly similar to AutoCAD, but you do have a bunch of additional functionality. Additionally here we have some tabs here. If you want to get to orthographic drawings, you hit this orthographic drawing tab, and isometric drawings, we hit this isometric drawing tab, and I'll explain those a bit more shortly. So just a quick overview of P&IDs. So this is an example of a P&ID. Essentially it's a process diagram. Generally you'll have some kind of vessels in the center. You'll have your instrumentation, which are these red tags here. And you'll have the likes of pumps and various other equipment like centrifuges, heat exchangers, etc. And then you have your pipe runs, and you have your off-page connectors to different P&IDs, which are these tags up on the right and left here. So if I just navigate back here to P&ID, and we click down here and choose the workspace, and you can see here we can choose between the various P&ID workspaces. So I'll just go for PIP here, and you can see it'll give me the valves that are part of the P&ID workspace. So I'll just anchor this here on the right, and in P&ID we can just simply grab a valve and we can place it on a line. And in here you can see it will tag the valve based on the thickness of the line, which is a 3-inch line, and it will automatically tag the valve HA116, which is the next available tag. And again, a lot of this can be customized. You can put in your own numbering conventions. The default title block is on here, but you might set up the title block yourself with your own company logo and your own company properties and metadata that you would be populating in here on your title block. So just to show drawing connectors there as well, if I select this drawing here, and I'll just navigate back here to my source file and show the P&ID I'm currently working on. So I've only these two P&IDs here. I'm currently in A1001, but if I right click here or double click here, single click, I can click on View Connected, or I can click on Open Connected Drawing, and this will take me to the drawing which is connected to this pipeline. So if you start to build your P&IDs, you can navigate between your drawings, and you can jump from drawing to drawing, and you can actually connect these off-page connectors between drawings, which will allow you to kind of intelligently jump between drawings and work within your P&ID workflow environment. So just on data sheets as well. So if I bring up the data manager here, so this data management, I'm currently on just the current drawing data. We can search the entire project within this as well. On the left side here we have basically our available equipment. So we have air-cooled exchanger. If I go down here to valves, we can see all the valves that are in our P&ID. Each of their tags, what pipe spec they're on, what line size they're on, description given to each, and then we have the ability to populate stuff like manufacturer, model number, supplier, valve codes if we have those, specs, etc., comments. We can export this to Excel, and then we can re-import it as well. So if we wanted to actually export this and use it as a list for maybe purchasing or for installation, we can do that, but we can also export it and actually fill in some of this data like manufacturer and model, and then re-import it back in, and it will repopulate that data into those fields here as well. So that's just a quick overview of P&IDs. Next I'll just jump down here to the 3D models. So I have a quick video here which I'll just talk over, but I can show it off afterwards as well. But basically in the 3D environment, the standard workflow is you can build some structural designs here conceptually. So I'm just building, say, a 3D metal frame here with 2 floors on it. We can add, there's a bunch of preset components like I-beams and grates and stairs. We can place all these, and next I'm just going to show off here the vessel creator, so the equipment creator. So within the equipment creator you can build a tank, you can add a skirt, say, around the bottom, you could add legs to it, you can place it within your drawing. You can then add nozzles to that very freely, and then you can run your pipelines from those nozzles. So just quickly here on the nozzle creator, we can place nozzles anywhere we like. Then we can add various other components. So if we run a pipeline here, we can basically start on a nozzle on the end of one of our pieces of equipment, apply a pipeline, and then we can add in various components like valves and check valves on top of that. And then as we expand here, we can connect, and you can see here, I'll just pause for a second, that when we connect a line that we're working on to a flange, it will automatically give us a bunch of options here in terms of runs from where we are to where we're trying to go, and you can toggle through those, and it'll give you the option of choosing which automatic line you like, and whichever one is closest to your intended kind of route, you can use that, and then you can slightly tweak it again afterwards if needs be. And then you can see here just slightly tweaking the run that we chose, and there we have our piping run between our equipment. So you can see very quickly we can put together a fairly decent 3D model with structural frames, a bunch of equipment, a vessel, a pump, a tank, and draw our pipe runs in and put in our valves and check valves, all with just a few clicks. So I'll just show off some of these a bit more slowly here back in Plant 3D. So I'll just go over here to the left side, and in the Plant 3D drawings I'm just going to create a drawing. I've already created a drawing here, which is a blank one. So in this drawing here, the standard workflow is need to toggle back to the 3D workspace. So I'm back on the 3D workspace now. We can pick a pipeline number. So we'll pick one of these. We can pick one of the thicknesses of the pipe. So say this one's going to be 4-inch, and then we can pick our pipe spec. So we'll just go with SS300, which is one of the stainless steel presets here that's installed with Plant 3D. So I'll go route pipe, and very quickly you can see that I can draw a pipe and run, and it's going to place in elbows automatically. It's going to run my pipe, and then if I hold down the shift or the control key and right click, I can change the plane, which will allow me to go, say, straight up. So I'm going straight up here as opposed to along the horizontal plane on the floor. And if I can hold control and right click, I can toggle my planes again, which allow me to very quickly put together a 3D drawing of a pipe run in Plant 3D. Next, if I hit down here, we have the options, the various other options available while we're doing a pipe run. So we can do place fitting here as well. So if I go pipe fitting, I can choose between a valve or a flange, and additionally I could have used my tool palette over here on the right and chose whatever it is I needed, be it a flange or a valve. So let's just place a flange in here, and we'll just hit place, and we'll just hit OK, and it'll give me a flange and then a closed flange again at the end. So I can continue on my pipe run from here, or I can just leave it at this. So just a little more on pipe runs. If I change to a different pipe size and I go route pipe, you'll see, let me just change to another size again. You'll start to see that pipes will have different colors as you use different sizes. So this is a default preset within Plant 3D. Next over here, I just have some piping options. So we have pipe supports, brackets, hangers, etc. We also have, if I do a pipe run again, we can change the compass here. So by default, when I do a pipe run, I'm locked to 90 degrees, 45 degrees, 180 degrees. So everything is kind of moving around in a 45-degree jump. But I can change this down to, say, 15 if I wish. And this will allow me to use more angles within my piping run. Next, I can go to the slope here, and I can just put in, say, 1 foot or 1 inch, say, is to 1 foot, because this is currently in imperial measurements, and we can see this will allow me to slope my pipes. So here we have a pipe that's currently sloped up. So basically using the slope, which if we toggle this on, let me just draw a new line here. So this will allow me to slope my pipe runs, essentially, rather than working on the horizontal plane or the vertical plane. I can use the slope functionality to slope pipe runs, because we all know pipe runs don't necessarily follow the perfect vertical and horizontal runs. So just quickly on the equipment builder, if I go to create equipment here, this is a parametric equipment builder. It's a very useful function within Plant 3D. We can choose from a number of different options here. So we could say use a pump. We could create that and place it in, and we can give it a rotation, and that will place our pump. If we go back up here, if we go back up here to create equipment again, we can go to, say, the vessel creator, and we'll go with, say, a horizontal vessel, or we'll go with a vertical vessel. So here we have a tropospheric head, a cylinder in the middle, and a dome again at the bottom. You could place different shapes in here. There are a bunch of defined other shapes. Additionally, you can add a trim, so you can add a skirt around the bottom, or you can add a platform. I'll just show off a platform here as an example. And then when we hit create on this, it will give us our vessel with an elevated platform straight up to the vessel, which we can place easily into our 3D model. And then we can take a pipe run from this nozzle quite easily. We click the plus box here, and we're just simply drawing our pipe run straight off of the vessel very quickly. Additionally, if I go back into the vessel component, so we have the options here to change our fittings, and we have the options to very quickly design our 3D model with our pipe runs and our flanges and our fitting. So we can add various fittings to this quite easily, all within the equipment creator. So just lastly there on the 3D model, we do have a data manager here as well, and if I click on the data manager, this will give you the information of all the pipes and all the flanges and all the elbows and T-pieces that are required to make this. Additionally, you have the weld types between, so these are butt welded. You could have flange connection, you could have, say, different types of welds. So this will give you kind of the entire what is required bill of materials, if you will, in creating this model which I have created. So back here to my spreadsheet, I'm just going to quickly run through the other types of drawings that are available here. The isometric drawing. So within the isometric drawing, you can automatically generate an isometric from your Plant 3D model, which is intended for fabrication. So the guys who are cutting out these pipes and elbows and T-pieces and welding them together and putting flanges on the end, they will need the isometric drawings, which you can automatically generate from your 3D model. So within the isometric drawing setup, we have a bunch of different options as well. We can turn on bill of materials, cut pieces, weld lists, spool lists. We can configure the title block within the project setup manager. So this is an example of an automatically generated isometric. So we have a pipe run here. We have a bill of materials over here on the right side of the title block. We have a cut piece list. So again, these are all tagged in the drawing and shown over here in the list. Down here in the bottom, we have a weld list. So each of the weld types that are required in creating this pipe run. And again, this is the generic default title block that comes with Plant 3D, but you could set this up with your own company title block and have a lot of these values available and set up for you in your isometric. So when you automatically generate your isometric, assuming you have everything set up as per your requirement, you're going to end up with a fairly comprehensive and ready to go isometric, which can be issued to the guys for fabrication fairly quickly. Next is the orthographic drawings. So if you're familiar with working in AutoCAD, usually in AutoCAD you have your model space and paper space. In your model space you draw up whatever it is you're currently working on, and in your paper space you do, say, a title block, and you'll do a couple of views, maybe some section views, an elevation plan in view, and maybe a 3D view if your object is in 3D. So orthographic views are basically that. A lot of similar functionality, like the ability to dimension, add tags, set up your title block. You can hide components in one view and show them in another. Say there's a pipe in the way from another part of the project, and then you can hide it in one view so that you can get a more clear view of what you're currently working on. So just lastly there, just to go through what's new in 2021. So there's kind of three big things in 2021. The first of the three is the improvements to the piping insulation, or lagging as it's referred to in the industry. So in orthographic views now, if you were to include insulation on your pipe, you can choose between showing just the pipe, showing the outline of the insulation, or showing both. So this is the pipe with the insulation surrounding it. Over here we have the other option here of just placing kind of an insulation symbol, which can be placed kind of a number of times along the line to show that this pipe is insulated. Then in the 3D view we have this new kind of transparent surrounding insulation to show that this pipe here is insulated as well. So again, these are just kind of new features that have been added in 2021 or improved in 2021. The next feature is the PCF file format. So if you're creating automatic isometrics, the PCF file format is an option. So normally you're producing your isometrics to DWG or DWF or maybe PDF, but PCF is now an available file that you can set up and have your isometrics generated to this file type. The last big addition here in 2021 is the compatibility with BIM 360. So just quickly going back here to Plant 3D, when you create a project, you can see over here on the left my open options. I can open a standard project, which is a Plant 3D project, which is stored on, say, a shared drive or maybe on my local PC. You can open a Vault project, and if you're familiar with Vault, you'll know this is kind of a data storage platform for saving drawings that you can use for revision control, lifecycle management, and have traceability on your files. But BIM 360 now is the cloud-based platform, which is if you have an account for BIM 360, which is Autodesk's cloud-based platform, you can now build a Plant 3D project and share it in the cloud and allow collaboration between teams from different offices to connect to your Plant 3D project and check out files and check them back in. So this is all handled through the Collaborate tab up here. I'll just close off this sheet manager. So basically you have the ability to check in and check out files, which will lock other people from working on those files. You have the ability to attach files from the project, which are stored in the cloud. And this share button here is just for creating the project. Now I won't be going through this in any more detail because it would be time consuming, and we do have a number of BIM webinars available on our YouTube page if you're interested. But in general, just Plant, you can upload a Plant 3D project to the BIM 360 platform. You can set your permissions to different users, and you can share that project via the cloud now as well. So additionally, they set up they just wanted to make you aware that the audit functionality is available with BIM 360 projects as well. And you'll see here in the project manager, this icon here with the B on it will indicate that this project is a BIM project as opposed to a Vault or a standard project. So if I was over here in Plant 3D, the symbol here will just indicate the project type. So if it were a Vault project, you'd see this kind of Vault symbol, and if it were a BIM project, you'd see the BIM logo. So that's all in terms of Plant 3D overview. Thanks for attending. Hopefully you were able to pick up some of that.